The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
It's time to talk MTCS sports. It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
Welcome into MTCS Cougar Corner here on WGNS and also on Big G TV. Glad you're joining us here. The show presented by TOA, Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. Today we have the opportunity to talk MTCS tennis. Lawrence Goodwyn is joining us this morning. And first of all, good morning to you.
Thank you.
Good to have you here today. And you have been the tennis coach for how long at MTCS?
This is my 19th year to be the tennis coach and 20th year to be a member of the staff at MTCS.
Wow. So you're a long timer, huh?
Yes, definitely. I think there's only a couple people who've been there longer than I have.
I can only imagine. Boy, in that 20 years, you've seen a big change in facilities alone.
Yes. Yeah, I was just remarking to someone recently that I think when I first came, there was maybe 400 students, and we're, I think, past 900 now. Yeah,
well, that is tremendous growth and great facilities for all sports and tennis included in that. And honestly, for the tennis athlete, MTCS is kind of the mecca, the place that you want to be, isn't it?
Well, we've been real blessed. In 2015, we had the blessing of getting the tennis courts built. And so they've served us really well for 10 years. And, we're looking to try to give them a refresh here, hopefully this summer. But it certainly has been a blessing to have those.
Well, I don't want to get into the pickleball and tennis discussion that much, but I do know that, tennis has been important here in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County for quite a while. We've had some great facilities, and I know that pickleball is kind of the rage for the aging crowd and whatnot, but this is a kind of a hotbed of tennis interest, I would say.
Yeah, when I first arrived in Murfreesboro, we had the 8 courts at Old Fort and a couple of courts, of course, the courts at MTSU. And after that, not a whole lot. So it's definitely boomed lately. Have a great facility, of course, at Old Fort where we have the state tournament. And of course, recently PCA put in courts and with our courts. So I would definitely say it's a thriving sport in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, it's interesting, the partnership with the city and MTSU for the Adams Tennis Complex. But, they've also done some recent upgrades to the outdoor complex at Old Fort. MTSU has done some recent work on their outdoor courts. So we're seeing at least investments in those too.
Oh, definitely. And you can see how it's paid off for not only the city, but for the university. MTSU has had great success with their programs under Jimmy Borendame. And of course, the high schools here have had great success, the public schools and now the private schools. So it definitely has paid off.
Well, when you are the tennis coach, you are really kind of on call year round, because with being a K-12 school, you've got middle school, and that's really where the athletics get rolling, I would assume. And maybe you even have some offerings for the younger kids there at the school too. So maybe tell us about the structure of tennis at MTCS.
We start the middle school program. I like to call it the middle school program more than the team, because we have kids that are in 5th grade that start. And so we have 5th through 8th graders that play on the middle school program in the fall. And then in the summer, I do a couple of camps for those even younger. So generally we try to get them started 5, 6 years old in the summer. And then, of course, when they get to middle school in 5th grade, they'll join up the program and then straight from there to the high school program.
Well, I know we're getting into, you've already had scrimmages into the season for the high school girls and boys tennis, and we're definitely going to spend time on that. But you must feel the importance of the middle school program to help you in terms of raising up, I guess, if you will, for lack of a better word, high school tennis players. I mean, you get hands on from fifth grade on, right on through high school. That has to help.
Yeah, there's no question. Having them come in fifth grade and start to learn the game. Generally, not a lot of the fifth graders will play in the matches in the middle school, but they'll get started. And then by the time they're seventh or eighth grade, they're playing a lot of matches. And so it's been a huge difference for us to, and, you know, it's so convenient to have the courts on the campus so we don't have to travel, you know, when they're in fifth and sixth grade to another location. So that's been a huge benefit for us.
I would also expect that with tennis courts on campus and some schools that offer the sport but maybe don't have the facilities, that you are probably you've got home matches more times than not. Would that be true?
At the middle school league, we play all of our matches at home.
Oh, wow.
Except for the tournament. So because so many other schools in the league, they have to play all their matches at Old Fort. I believe PCA now, since they have courts, they'll play their matches there. So we get to play all of our matches as home matches. So that's a really nice thing as well.
Yeah, most certainly. So the middle school team, especially on the boys' side of things, has had quite a bit of recent success the last couple of years.
They really have. They've there's a group of boys that have kind of grown up together for the past several years and had great success. They won the county tournament a couple of years ago and then got second place past couple of years. So they've stuck together and had it's been a really positive thing for our school.
You after the county level, is there some tie-in with TMSAA, or how does that work? I mean, do you participate, into maybe like a district, regional, state level?
There's not a middle school level that goes beyond the county tournament, but the USTA, the United States Tennis Association, they put on a state tournament at Old Fort Park. And so they invite all the middle schools around Tennessee, and you're put into a bracket of like schools. And so we've played in that for the past couple of years. And last year, our boys got second in the state in that tournament.
Oh, wow.
They got beat by, I believe it was Baylor school that won that tournament.
We are talking today MTCS tennis. Lawrence Goodwyn is the head coach for middle school in the fall, girls and boys, and of course high school here in the springtime. And just curious, you've had some really successful teams that have come through on the high school side of things, and just curious how many of those young people have started with you in middle school, and that was probably a reason why you saw such growth by the time they were high school kids.
That's absolutely right. We've had, of course, a couple of kids that have transferred in and that have really helped our program, but most all of the kids that are now playing on my high school and have been in the past have been kids that played in the middle school program. And like I said, that makes all the difference because they get one kind of teaching from fifth grade through 12th grade. And that makes a lot of difference as well.
I can only imagine. Plus, I'm assuming that those who do play in middle school, it's not something that when you get to high school, you all of a sudden say, oh, they have a tennis team, I'm going to try. And you've never picked up a racket before. But you're talking about getting maybe instruction, coaching, for lack of a better analogy, probably some tennis teams that travel and do that kind of thing in summertime. Would that be true?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when I talk to my eighth grade middle school kids, I tell them, after this season is over in the fall, you even have a chance to play on the varsity team in the spring as an eighth grader. And so a lot of the kids go tennis all year round. They go to the fall middle school as an eighth grader, and then they play on the varsity team as an eighth grader in the spring.
That's part of the, I guess, good fortune of being a K-12, right? You can do that.
That's right, because we're all on one campus.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Well, we want to turn our attention to, now that we've talked about the program, we want to look at this year's 2025 team. But I think this is a good point for us to take a break here on Cougar Corner, and we will come right back and have more with Lawrence Goodwyn, the MTCS tennis coach, here on Cougar Corner, presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
It's MTCS Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We are back here on MTCS Cougar Corner. It is our conversation with Lawrence Goodwyn, the tennis coach at MTCS, and spring sports are here. And one thing that we've noticed, Lawrence, is that spring sports, we're starting about, since a change in the rule a couple of years ago, we're starting a lot earlier. So around the 1st of March, we're getting after it.
That's right. It's kind of a situation I've had to get used to because often as you're trying to get prepared for the season, you're hoping to have a few days that the weather is not 30 degrees to practice. And for a while in February, I was thinking, oh no, we're not going to have any practice days at all. Fortunately, we've had a few nice days lately that will help us out. But yeah, starting a week earlier, obviously it's helpful as far as getting in matches because the spring is so crazy. But you never know what you're going to get if you're going to be playing in the snow or what. Yeah,
weather is definitely a factor with all spring sports. It doesn't matter whether it can be cold, it can be hot. I mean, your tennis wardrobe has to be immense, from heavy jackets to short sleeve shirts, right?
Exactly. And often matches will start at 4:00 and the weather's pretty good, but by the time it's 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, it's changed quite a bit. So you have to bring a lot of layers.
That is the key for spring sports for sure. Your 2025 team, maybe just kind of give us an overview, boys and girls. What do you think? Do you have upperclassmen? Are you young? Kind of walk us through that.
This year on the girls' side, I have 4 senior girls who will be a part of my varsity top 5. So they've been with me just about most of them since 5th or 6th grade, and they've grown up together. And so I'm excited about that, to have a group of seniors. And so that's going to be last year, of course, they got to the state tournament. And so we're excited about this year with them. On the boys' side, we graduated about 6 seniors last year on the boys' team. So we have a really young boys' team this year. No seniors, 1 junior, 1 sophomore, and several 8th and 9th graders actually will make up our boys' team. So it's young, but they're talented kids. They did well in middle school. So it's going to be exciting to see them grow up this year.
I would think with your Division II small school placement because of enrollment, that's just how it works with TSSAA, that not all of the schools that maybe you see play football or basketball are playing tennis. Would that be right?
Really, in our division, in our district, all the teams in our district have tennis.
Oh, okay.
8 schools in our district, and all of them have tennis teams. Last year, every single team was a strong team, and every match we had was competitive last year, girls and boys side. So on the other side of the region, it is true that not all those teams had tennis teams. I think they had, out of 8 teams, I think they had 6 that played, but all 8 of ours have good teams.
Okay. So how does the postseason look? I'm jumping too far ahead here, but I thought we might talk about this to help us understand, because Division II is different than Division I and how all of that works and who you play. And we're going through that with the basketball right now, for instance. So how does that work for your district and right on through?
Right. So for our district season, we play every team in our district 1 time, and then your record will tell you whether you're going to go on to the regional team tournament. So the top 4 teams that have the best records after the season is over will play in the regional team tournament against the other top 4 teams from the other district in our region. And so last year just kind of turned out this way that all 4 of the teams from our district qualified for the state tournament on the boys' side and the girls' side. So the other district didn't qualify any teams for the state tournament. So it's a battle. Last year, our boys were fortunate enough to win our district, went undefeated in our district, went on and got to the Final Four at state, where we lost to a really good USJ team. And then our girls also advanced to the state tournament as well, and then got beat in the state tournament.
Well, you talked about it being a competitive district, and for all 4 of the teams that went to the district to get to the state tournament, I mean that's pretty amazing. So that does show the level of competitiveness there, I would say, for sure. And with a girls team that is pretty much intact from what you had last year, and with that state experience, I would say they're going to be pretty hungry to climb the rung of the ladder, if you will, this year.
Yeah, I think they are. They're 4 senior girls that are outstanding girls. They're really good students in school. They've been together a long time. They work together well in doubles. And so it's been a lot of fun to have them. So let's see, maybe we can go another step this year.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe some players to watch here for MTCS this season.
Yeah, on the girls' side, I just have to put all 4 of those girls together because number 1 is not too much different from number 4. Any given day, 4 can beat 1, 3 can beat 1. So it's, but Reese Tidwell, senior, Ashton Reed, senior, Chloe Converse, senior, and Julie Sherrod is a senior as well. So those 4 girls, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do, both as a team and also individual. They really do doubles really well. That's one of their strengths, is learning how to play doubles well. And so individually, they can also advance to the region or state tournament as doubles teams. So looking forward to seeing those girls. And on the boys team, 10th grader Ben Helton is our number one player this year, and he went to the state tournament last year in doubles with his partner, who now graduated. But looking for a lot of big things from Ben. Last year he played number 3 for us, or 4 for us sometimes, but he'll be playing number 1. And we have Daniel Melchior, who's a freshman. He's going to probably be our number 2 player this year. He's one of the ones that was a transfer. So we got him last year as an 8th grader, and he played on our team last year as an 8th grader. And so I'm looking for big things from Daniel. And then we have a bunch of 8th graders that are coming up from the middle school team. It'll be fun to see them already in the scrimmages the past couple of days. They've got some great experience learning how to play against high school players. It's a different thing for them, but Colton Burks is one that has kind of done really well as an 8th grader. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing them grow this year.
That sounds awesome. Lawrence Goodwyn joining us, the MTCS tennis coach here on Cougar Corner. So let's talk about how the competition goes. So you've mentioned singles, doubles. You compete as a team as well. So there could be individual, state champions, team state champions, double state champions. That's how that works, right?
That's exactly right. So you play a team tournament, and then your team continues to play until you finally lose, or you go to the Final Four at state. And then individually, you have a district tournament for your individuals, where you have singles and doubles, and they can advance to the region individual tournament. And unlike the public schools, the winners of the regional tournament go straight to the state tournament in singles and doubles.
All right. Well, interesting how all of that works. And I think you wanted to kind of tell us about your team theme for the year.
Well, this year our theme is perseverance. Every year we try to mix in our faith with our tennis, because that's kind of what drives us. And so we're going through the book of James, and one of the major themes is just learning how to persevere through trials, persevere through whatever you're going through, and just learning how to enjoy and embrace the test that we have. So I tell my kids I want them to play the hardest teams, and I want them to be tested in every way, because that's the only way you're really going to grow and learn how to get through much more difficult obstacles later in life. So that's our theme for this year.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about sports. At a Christian school, maybe you're able to implement this more so than maybe elsewhere. But just, when you're 25, when you're 30, you're starting a family, then you hit your mid-30s and family's growing, and you're growing 1,000 places where these kids' parents are, and perseverance is always something good to know.
No, absolutely. And, I felt like that our kids learned a lot last year, and they grew up a lot. And so this year we're going to see if we can even take it a step further.
You mentioned this earlier, and we'll kind of close with this, but 2025 was the time when you had kind of your, I guess, reconstruction, if you will, of the tennis facilities. But you're going to be doing that after the season this year?
Right now, we're looking at having the courts resurfaced in the summer, as that's if you're going to get all 6 courts resurfaced, and we're hopefully going to get all 6 redone, then that's really the only time to be able to do it. Because once they start that project, then your facility is, you're not able to play on your facility for several weeks, maybe even a month. While it's done. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting a refresh for our courts. They've served us well, and we've been blessed to have them.
Certainly is a beautiful facility. If you're trying to think where on campus is it, if you, I guess it's still called the new gym, even though it's been here for a minute too, but right beside the new gym, as far on the property as you can go, back there on the back corner. And it really is a great looking facility. I know you have to be proud.
Certainly, we've been great to have it, and it's great for me because my classroom is right across the street from it, so I don't have too far to go.
That's true. That's true. Well, I know you have all kinds of scrimmages and the season getting ready to start and things like that. I do appreciate you spending some time with us here today, and good luck on the season. We'll keep up with you.
Thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate your support of our athletics and our school and what you do. So I appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. That is Lawrence Goodwyn, our guest today here on MTCS Cougar Corner, and that will wrap up the program. We hope you enjoyed the conversation today on all the coaches' shows. So we'll see you back here next time here on News Radio WGNS.